All right, today I'm here with Shawdog, the president and founder, Itis Virtus, and you guys are a motorcycle group here in the area, correct?
Yes, sir.
You served in what branch of the military?
The Army.
The Army?
Yes,
What
sir.
years?
84 to 90.
84 to 90. Did you get any overseas time or anything like that?
I was in Nuremberg, Germany, and Garmisch, Germany.
Really? How'd
Yeah.
you like it?
Loved it.
Yeah.
Wish I could go back.
Everyone, you know what? And that's like the common theme. Every guy, especially during that window of time that were stationed in Germany, said that was just the best place to be.
I was very lucky to be in southern Bavarian, but absolutely beautiful country.
Yeah, and the people were really cool,
Yeah.
and yeah, it's what I've always heard. It was just like it was a blast
Yeah.
to be there. Anything cool? Did you see any concerts or anything while you were over there?
No, not really, but I did. The first place I ever learned how to snow ski was in the Alps there.
Oh, really?
So that was pretty neat. But,
That's cool.
Beautiful countryside, and of course the snow is always good over
Yeah,
there. So.
yeah, that's awesome. Did you? What was your job in the Army?
I was military police.
Okay, cool. So you're not my first. I've had a few MPs. That's
No.
awesome. Was that the job you wanted, or is that the job you got selected?
That was the absolute job I wanted. I was trying to pick a job that I could use for whenever I got out of the
Yeah.
service.
So did you go into law enforcement after you got out?
Yeah.
Where'd you work for?
I worked at Greene County and Christian County. And,
Okay.
Yeah.
The
So
sheriff's departments.
Yeah.
Sweet. Do you still currently retired now?
I'm retired now.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. That's awesome. That's cool. Anything crazy about Greene County, Christian County, or?
no, I wouldn't trade nothing for the world. I had a good time doing it. Things have changed, and
Yeah.
I'm not a technology person. So once the computers all started coming out, it was time for me to pick.
Yeah. Yeah. That's cool. That's really cool. What was better, Christian or Greene?
I grew up in Christian County, so it was nice to get back to my home county. But Greene County, of course, is a bigger department. You know, they have more funds available for different programs.
Yeah.
But I'd have to say it was nice being able to retire out of my home
In your
county I grew
home
up
county.
in.
That's
Yeah.
cool. That's really cool. That's really awesome, and it's interesting too, because it's like I've had a couple guys that are pretty much the same way you were. Is like they wanted to go into law enforcement, they had to go to school, so they went to the Army to get the school, went to MP, got out, went to law enforcement. That was
Yeah.
the deal.
Yeah.
That's cool. It's smart.
It makes it a better pathway. I had a good friend of mine when I was thinking about going in the service. He was like, you just need to go in and find a job that you know you can use in the real world. So if you don't stay in, which my plans was to stay in, I got hurt and they made me get out. So, so it worked out good for me. Give
That's
me
cool.
a pathway.
That's a great piece of advice, and something else I've heard a lot is that some of the guys that I've talked to, they got a job doing explosions.
Yeah.
It's really cool. But what are you supposed to do with it when you get out?
Yeah, what's your career opportunity?
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, there's 4 guys that do that across the country.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's extremely lucrative lucrative, but extremely high competition field. So yeah, it's a really good piece of advice. I think that a lot of guys that are going in need to really understand, go into something that you can use, make the system work for you.
Well, when I went in, I went in as a 95 Bravo, and I swapped over to 95 Charlie halfway through, which put me to work in Leavenworth, Kansas, at the prison. And that way I had training on both sides of the fence. And you never know, what jobs are out there in the real world. So I knew I could go to work in the federal prison system once I got out. I try to say to all the young kids nowadays that are talking about going in the service, try to pick a field that you can use when you get out, and keep copies of all your records, especially your medical. If you get injured, because trying to retrieve them once you're out is hard to do.
Smart, very smart. Tell me about Leavenworth.
I worked there almost 5 years. Absolutely loved it.
In the castle, the big.
I was very fortunate. I only had to work the towers a couple 3 months. And I got chosen to go inside and work. I ended up working death row max custody. So I spent most of my time underground.
With those guys.
Yeah.
How was that?
Absolutely loved it. It was never boring. Every day was always an adventure. The bad thing is it's very hot downstairs. Of course, I worked in the old castle. Now they've built a new one. But I was fortunate. I had good bosses, good commanders, and I was on the team. And whenever I left, I was able to get a Folgers coffee key and a brick and a portrait of the castle.
That's cool. That's really cool.
Neat,
I've got family that lives in Leavenworth, so I've been there since I can remember. So yeah, it's really cool. Never actually met anyone that worked inside, especially death row. Do you have any inmates that stuck out in your mind about guys or anything like that?
I mean, there was 2 or 3 inmate Doc. Of course, he was on death row for killing a taxi cab driver in Europe, but he had political ties, mother in D.C. So I mean, you kind of really had to watch what you said and did around him. But you just went in and did your job and made sure you took care of your partners you was working with every day. Like I said, it was a different adventure. So but I don't regret none of it.
It's an experience.
Oh yeah,
nonetheless.
Yeah, made a lot of good friends working there. So.
That's really cool. That's very cool. Well, thank you so much for your service.
It was my pleasure.
And thank you so much for what you do with Itis Virtus.
Well, we have a good time trying to do what we can for our community. So that's what we're about.
That's
so.
awesome.